a quadratic function in vertex form. So a quadratic function in vertex form. So this is the difference here. Earlier we looked at ax squared plus bx plus c. This is now, it's still a quadratic, but now it's in vertex form. Is given by this. We'll call it f of x again, and it's equal to a times x minus h squared plus k. So this is still a quadratic because the highest exponent is a 2. That's what makes it a quadratic function. We're still going to have the same properties. So to graph, you'll follow the same exact steps except for number 2. And so let's go through those real quick again. Just a good refresher. 1. So if a is greater than 0, then what happens? Same thing happens in both forms. If a is greater than 0, that means it opens up and it gives me a min. So opens up gives me a min. And then the other option is if a is less than 0. A is less than 0, it opens down and gives me a max. Step 2 is the vertex, just like in the previous step. The previous form, step 2 is the vertex. Here, it's a little more simple. Once I show you how to do a couple examples, it's simple. But it's simply h comma k. So if you're in this form, or if you're given this form, vertex form, then the vertex is already given to you based on these two numbers. And I'm going to show you an easy way to get those. Alright? And then step 3 is find x and y intercepts. 4 is plot. So nothing changed out of those. Only thing that's changing is step number 2. And so because of that, I'm just going to show you a couple examples of how to find the vertex, and I'm going to leave the whole graphing of this up to you. Because you should be able to find a x and y intercepts and plot it. Alright, so let's look at an example. Example 1. Find the vertex of, let's call it f of x equals 7 x minus 4 squared plus 5. X minus 4 plus 5. Alright, and all I want to do is find the vertex here. Find the vertex of this. Let's call this part A, because I want to do a couple examples here. Alright, so let's start always by writing the formula, which is a straightforward, simple formula here. It's h comma k. Now, you can go up here and tell me which numbers belong to h and k based on what I showed you over here. The trick with finding the vertex in vertex form is knowing which signs to use. So that's what I'm going to show you, knowing which signs to use. So this is going to equal something here. We know that this is h comma k. So this h is going to go, that's my x value, and then the k out here, that's my k value. But it's knowing which signs to use. So here's how you do it. So we know that this 4 is going to go here and this 5 is going to go here, but we need to figure out the signs. So you take this whatever's on the inside here, including the sign, it's a -4, so you take the opposite sign here. The opposite sign. So that makes it a +4. And then on the outside, it's the same sign. So that makes it a +5. And that's all it is to finding the vertex. It's the opposite of the inside value and the same as the outside value. All right, we're going to look at a couple more, just to make sure you got it down. This one should be a slam dunk on an exam. B, let's look at g of x equals x plus 3 squared minus 9. All right, just as a side note here, would I have a maximum value or a minimum value on part B here? Pause the video and think about it if you need to. Okay, so you have to look at your A value. A here is whatever number's in front up here. So if there's nothing written, that means it's a 1. 1 is greater than 0, so that means it's going to open up, and I'm going to form a minimum. Just a little side note there. That's good to keep in mind as you're working things. But I'm interested in the vertex here, which is h comma k. All right, and so I'm going to have my two values here, and let's see, it's the opposite of the inside and the same sign as on the outside. This is my x and that's my y. So opposite of this sign makes it a -3, and the same as this one makes it a -9.